Namaste everyone, I'm Nithyananda. Spiritual experiences with my gurus. In the Vedic tradition, the relationship between the guru and the principal, the love, the connection, this is the first and most important thing ever. Why do people spend so many years in school studying and then go with their jobs and working? Often they're suffering. They're not satisfied, not happy because of this relationship. The character, the very core of this relationship, teacher and student, guru and principal, very clearly, I remember very clearly my amazement, me not understanding, gradually understanding. What did this guy, Maharishi, this person that gave this meditation, mean? Vedic knowledge. What do you mean? I'll now explain, because it's my first guru, and when I finished his program, the Transcendental Meditation, I didn't want to have anything with gurus, religion, or something like this. And this program didn't require such thing. It said it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, your religion, and so on. You just practice the program, and that's it. But I got so enthusiastic about this program because I saw the results, and later on, very quickly, just a few months afterwards, I became also Yogi Flyer. Wow, that was amazing experience, and I was so enthusiastic. I regularly went to these meetings together that we had once a week. I started translating some materials, the research, and seeing his discourses, his lectures on videotapes. Back then there were videotapes. And he goes like, Vedic knowledge. What? What do you mean, man? Knowledge. You see, all I got from this person is just meditation, yogi flying, fun, super fun, relaxation and fun, peace inside. Knowledge you get in school, here I get peace, fun, inspiring moments, feeling so great. But knowledge you get in school, what do you mean? It took me time. This is the difference. Civilization education, Vedic education. Until I get it, that knowledge in Vedic sense means amazing amount of love that you have not experienced till now. You start with amazing amount of love, amazing amount of joy. How could knowledge be joy? I couldn't get it for some time. How could knowledge be joy? Why is he using these words? These are two different things. One is relaxation, the other thing is knowledge. But this is how you actually do start to get real knowledge. Anyhow, although I was very inspired, I started getting very engaged with this organization. Once again, I didn't want to be religious. I didn't want to be, although my parents and some other people thought, well, you're going into too much. This is too much. It's something like sect or something like this. For me, it wasn't at all, and I didn't want to be religious at all. One thing also, I made sure I'd never have his picture with me, because I thought this is some kind of dependence. I don't want to be dependent, so I never had his picture with me. In spite of this, I never seen him alive as well. In spite of this, I had actually very strong experiences with him. And afterwards, before I came here, started living at Nithyananda's home, Nithyananda Petam at Bangalore, India, I also had some experiences with him as well. So, let's start with the first experience that comes to my mind. So one night, I have this dream. There is this powerful wind current coming from the cosmos towards the earth. In some kind of, I could say maybe solar or whatever current it is, but it's like wind going to the earth. And I'm flying with it. Just like skydiver. Great fun. And then I passed a guru. There's this guru standing there in midair, out there like hundreds and thousands of miles before the earth. How does he survive in this vacuum? I don't know. And how do I survive? I don't know, but it's true. And then I pass him. Some time passes, and then I see Maharishi. He's closer to the earth. Wow, that's interesting. So I pass him by. The moment I pass him by, this thought comes to my mind. Wow. If he had just turned and spoke to me, then I would know this is not a dream. This is 100% full reality. The moment this thought came to my mind, I stopped in the middle of this current. It's like a river, I would say. Strong, but I stopped without any logic. And then against the current, my body started drifting back. And then I aligned with him, and he was on this side, and I turned to him. And he turned to me. He faced me. And that was something I remember very clearly, because he started speaking with me. When he started speaking to me, he spoke with the voice of a fighter, of a soldier, warrior. He spoke like warrior to a warrior. That was a bit untypical for him, because most of the time, at least I haven't seen him live, but when he spoke on video, he was like 90% of us so mild. And sometimes he will show his other face as well, the warrior face. This time he spoke to me this way, and he told me like that. I will appoint you to be responsible for whatever you want me to appoint you to be responsible for. And you can go back to your meditation at any time you want. The moment he said this, I woke up, and I was absolutely conscious of everything that happened, and I knew somehow this is true. He told me about this meditation because I wasn't regular at this time. Whatever I choose, He will bless me. Yes, you have my blessings. Choose. You are responsible for this. I'll go to another experience. I was awake and I had a vision. I was standing next to a table at home. I was living in the basement this time. I was standing upward and standing next to a table, and suddenly, from nowhere, no logic, nothing, I had this experience. Like, from nowhere, whoop, there inside of me, like in my womb, inside. I say womb because this is how I felt. Like inside of me, I conceived a child. Strange, I'm a man, but inside me, I'm really. It's in my body. I see this child, and I see him from the back. And then he holds his hands in fists, and he's really mad, really angry, very unhappy about this situation that he's locked inside this home that he's in, and he wants to go out, so he wants to get out, and when he has his fist, he hits the door with all his power. It says, let me out, let me out. He was this child, something like 6 or 7 years old maybe. Let me out, I want to go out. And he turns around, and it was the door of a home I was living, but also it was the door of my heart. So I said, I conceived it in my body, but it's actually conceiving in my heart. So that was the door of my heart, and he wanted to go out. And then he turned around, this child turned around, it was a boy, turned around, and goes like, crosses his hands, goes like, he's really mad. And he said, also before this, if you can't do it, then I can. He turned around and went like this. And when he turned around and I saw his face, I was absolutely shocked because I saw my guru. I saw the face of my guru Maharishi. I recognized him in this face. It was him. Maharishi was alive at this time. Wow, I got so deeply stressed. A very stressful experience for me. I immediately went out and home, started walking the street, and started thinking, what does this mean? What does this mean? Is this some kind of symbolical meaning, or it is a practical thing? I mean, that I should find a partner, and we should have a child, and this spirit, like in future, he will be reborn, this child. Or I was so stressed, and that I had this feeling that if I don't do something quickly, like I will have an abortion, because I conceived it. So if I don't do anything, what happens with the child if you don't do anything? It will die, it will go away. You do some kind of abortion, you don't give it life, you don't give this child life. I really didn't know what to do, and I sort of forgot it, or tried to forget it, because from time to time I remembered this thing, and I had this feeling of guilt. I didn't do anything about it because I didn't know. I felt that I was not worthy, not ready, and so on. So this was a very unpleasant experience for me for years. Feeling of responsibility and guilt. I had another experience as well. It was the moment before I left this new organization that was responsible for spreading this knowledge for the first time. Not that I was some kind of member, but I was actively taking part in things, and then I suddenly stopped and turned around. The reason for this was that I decided to take in my own hands initiative to create at least one school, but then I understood I didn't have the experience, the knowledge, so I had to acquire this experience and knowledge, and I met then a person who could give me this experience and knowledge that I was looking for. So I started my magic show business then. But at the beginning I was just assistant and show manager and so on. Before this, I had this moment. Oh yes. So I asked Maharishi, what is the secret inside of me? So this was the experience. I thought one day when these first groups are going to be created in the world, I'm gonna change, and I don't know the way I'm gonna change, but I'm gonna start on a new path. And the way, and the first groups were created in Holland and then the USA, and this was really the moment when I started changing, and I felt more and more unattached to these activities in my country of this movement. I was very, very active before, and then I felt there is something wrong, there is something missing, because we are pretty much more talking, we're gathering together, but we are not doing that much, and it looks like things depend on how much we are successful in material life, but we are not successful. It looks like people on international level are having like the same problem, because it looked like all it is needed is just have some fund to create these groups, some amount of money to create these groups worldwide. And in my own life I felt very dissatisfied from having lack of this material success, and I felt like I had enough, because I was too much concentrated on the spiritual side. I had different jobs, but I didn't have some kind of serious career, some kind of serious material development in life. And I said, okay, that's it, enough. I had enough. And I had this turnaround moment when I went to this meditation one evening, and I imagined Maharishi in my mind. And I imagined that he is in the same room with me, and I shouted out with all my strength, Maharishi, what is the secret? So if he was right next to me physically, I would have taken him by the by his daughter and have shaken him, asked him, Maharishi, what is the secret? So I really get the answer the other day. But I shouted out in myself so strongly. If I have done this out loud, that would hurt me everywhere around in the neighborhood. That strong. And next day, I saw the movie The Secret, and I immediately thought, well, this is the answer. And when I saw John Hangley in this movie, immediately this moment came when Maharishi said, listen to John Hangley, because when he speaks, then I'm speaking. So I thought, wow, so this is Maharishi giving me his sign. You see, I'm speaking, I'm in this movie. Listen to John Hangley, listen to this movie. There is your secret. You wanted the secret, there is your secret. And it was like personal instruction, personal blessing. Go, you wanted this thing, go, you can have it. So I didn't need to ask anybody. Some kind of coordination with the structure, this organization that is responsible for spreading this knowledge. I got my personal blessings and instructions. So I spent lots of years afterwards researching this knowledge. And then I had another experience. And it was Maharishi was already gone, and I dreamed that I was in a room. In this room, I woke up in the dream, and I understood that I'm in a space and time when, if I want anything, it will be fulfilled. So what did I want? And I didn't know what to wish for. And then suddenly from nowhere, I had this desire. I want to see Maharishi. Very strange. Like from every cell of my body, this desire came out. Like a vortex. And it came out. I want to see him. When I woke up and I remembered everything, this desire was so strong. I wanted to see him live. Although he was gone, I wanted to see him physically be with him. I never wanted had this desire before, because I thought if you want to be with your guru, just do his work. Why should you really go and see him? Oh, hello, how are you? How are you doing today? Yeah, I'm fine. Would you like coffee, tea? Oh, let me discuss with you and this and this. I didn't understand this thing. Now that I'm here with my guru, Nithyananda, I understand that there's something else in the physical contact. The knowledge is given highest quality, much faster. There is some kind of true knowledge that is given through physical contact. I guess that is why this desire was born in me. I'm mentioning these things because these experiences have marked my path to the feet of my guru from today. For me, Maharishi has led me to Nithyananda. Because I never thought I'll have another guru who can be like him. Such a dimension, world level, playing with the whole world. I gradually saw, once I started watching the videos, Nithyananda, the voice was what caught me, his knowledge, Vedic knowledge, the spirit, and his dimension. Afterwards, especially in the beginning this year, 2017, December, when the Sadashivoham program was inaugurated, his world plan, already announcing it and what he's about to do. And I saw that what he's doing, and now that I'm 2 months here, and I'm with him every day, more I see it is exactly what Mahesh was doing, but he's doing it in much greater, although at this stage the organization is smaller, much smaller, but I see him. I see his character, and he will do it. That's it. He will do it, and that's it. What he's going after is now something much greater. It's total upgrade to what Maharishi was given. It is realization of Maharishi's dreams. Once about the city program, the developing of these cities, Nithyananda calls them Shaktis because he has a way to give them faster, but it is eventually the same. At the end, you mean it's just spiritual powers, awakened spiritual powers, that's it. Whether you do it slowly or fast, at the end it is one and the same, spiritual power. He does it in another way, but then the effect, when you practice these programs, for me the most important thing is the inner experience and the social effect. I saw that this here is achieved as well in different ways, but it is done here as well. He also has this flying program, so he just at this point of time, he is not starting doing this thing on a. Now that I'm doing this when it's July 2017, but this is in the program in the quite near future. Yogi flying program. So why? Because this program is the one that has been researched, that proves to create world peace and so on. So these are things that are important for me. Another thing is building Vedic cities. Just in the last few weeks, he mentioned several times today as well about his plans of building Vedic cities around the world, but he's doing it in a much more extended way, much more detailed way. My experiences with him. So, we're watching him on YouTube, really enjoying him. One day when I was with friends, I received this strong experience, light in my head, light in my body, and I had other moments that I saw light, but this time was stronger than ever. And it grew, this light got stronger, and then inside here, the solar plexus, gradually he appeared, and he was smiling, and he was inviting me into the light. Without words, he was saying, come with me into the light. And also he told me, like without words, but this was the message, this was the feeling. I know about you and I know that you're watching me. I know you. It was very touching. My eyes were filled with tears because it was very intimate. And I wanted to go with him in the light, but there were some incompletions that held me. I just started going, but then things held me back and I had to clear them before I go with him. And then another experience, I went to London and he had a workshop. And this workshop, the moment he gave initiation, because there was initiation online, and I started experiencing yogi flying. So by this experience I knew his power, his energy is basically the same or quite similar to this energy that I experienced during yogi flying, which is a very strong positive indicator for me that I'm going in the same direction. And then I had another experience, and it was with one of his followers, and this is a young lady that I asked for some Facebook contacts, and the moment I asked, and I started feeling, because I was in my own city, she was in London, and like 10-15 minutes afterwards I started having the same feeling as I was in the workshop, very strong feeling. And I thought, she's doing something, and I asked her on Messenger, did you do something, because I felt this experience. She said, yes, what you have felt was 100% Swamiji's energy radiating through me. When I came here, I started, before seeing Swamiji, I started feeling his energy here and there. It just pushed me into a state of meditation, wonderful experiences. And when I started seeing him every day, I started experiencing this feeling of communion. Now he answers the questions that I have from the previous day or even the same day. The top moment was when I was sitting in a satsang, just before he started speaking about this thing that I was thinking of. So I had this strong image in my mind, and next moment he started speaking about the same subject. So these experiences are important for everyone on the spiritual path. They're driving him. This is the inspiration. Driving him forward. And it is important to treat them as real, not something that is crazy. For example, now that I had these experiences with my previous guru, Maharishi, I know that there is something in me. I have his blessings to achieve the highest goals he has foreseen, he wanted for his whole organization. Let's say his goal was to create a group of 40,000 very pandits here in India. I know that I can achieve this thing. Now that I'm with Swamiji, the most powerful guru of our time, a living avatar. For me, he's like not only Maharishi, he's like all the other gurus, like reborn and finally coming to the earth and finally realizing the visions, the dreams, all of the things that have they worked for. Now that I'm in his presence, I feel for the first time way more realistic that I can achieve these things. Of course, not myself, but with other people. But you need to start with somewhere. Where do you start with? You start with yourself. You don't rely on other people. You just start, and who joins. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And the most exciting times are just about to begin. The most exciting times are just about to begin. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. It's wonderful. Thank you very much. And let this be inspiration for everyone. I got this inspiration here. The feeling that is realistic, I got it here. That is why I invite you as well. At least look at these programs. Best just come. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you. Nithyananda.